This is United Inside News. Sancho resolution and Amrabat injury boost United's perfect Premier League return. Man United have got a number of issues to address this week and will want things to go smoothly ahead of Saturday's clash with Brighton. The international break has been anything but quiet for Man United, who have been landed with a number of headaches since the 3-1 loss to Arsenal. Not only did the defeat and injury worries dampen spirits, but Jadon Sancho's public rebuttal of Erik ten Hag's training claims have caused a stir among the fan base, at the least. The Saudi window has now closed, and the winger is still a United player. Meanwhile, Anthony's return from the international break is being delayed amid the allegations of abuse against women against him, all allegations he denies. He was dropped from the Brazil national team last week. United will be looking forward to getting back onto the pitch after a poor start. The Reds have picked up just 6 points in their opening 4 games and sit 11th in the Premier League table. A positive showing against Brighton in the first game back is needed. Here is what a perfect week would look like for Ten Hag ahead of Saturday. Let's look. Amrabat, Højlund, and other injury boosts. Martinez is back in full training with Argentina having missed their first match of the break with Bolivia due to the foot knock that forced him off against Arsenal. Højlund has made 2 substitute appearances for Denmark without blemish following his debut for United after his back problem. The condition of Amrabat is more vague. He withdrew from the Morocco squad as a precaution following an unspecified issue. That at least eliminates any further damage from being inflicted. The most positive outcome sees United clear Amrabat to make his debut against Brighton following his deadline day switch. That would most likely come from the bench anyway, as he meets his new teammates this week and gets up to speed with the United way. Anything more than a 2-game absence would be irking, especially with the Champions League beginning next week. 6 points become 9. If there's one team you don't want to face after a break, it's the slick and sublime. Brighton, who sit on 9 points, kick off their exciting European journey the following Thursday. So one eye may be in the Europa League. They inflicted an opening day defeat on United last season. So Saturday's game is a chance for the Reds to show their progression under Ten Hag. Again and again. Manchester United consider emergency signing amid Anthony and Jadon Sancho uncertainty. Man United are said to be weighing up a move for ex-Aston Villa winger Anwar El Ghazi amid uncertainty surrounding Anthony and Jadon Sancho. This is according to Chris Wheeler of the Daily Mail, where it is claimed that Manchester United are considering signing the free agent. Anwar El Ghazi left PSV Eindhoven by mutual consent last week, and he is therefore available to sign for Erik ten Hag outside of the transfer window. This will be happening in January transfer window. El Ghazi, who is 28 years old, was in attendance at the Emirates Stadium as United lost 3-1 to Arsenal and also has offers from Saudi Arabia. United are currently suffering from major issues in their right-wing slot, with Anthony unavailable due to domestic abuse allegations and the future of Jadon Sancho unclear. Sancho is set to be punished after a social media statement last week, and even in the reserves, United currently have injuries to Ahmad and Mason Mount. Meanwhile, Erik ten Hag has 5 things in his in-tray as Manchester United players return to training. The Man United players who didn't go away on international duty are back at Carrington today, and the issues are mounting up for Erik ten Hag. So, Erik ten Hag returns to Carrington on Monday after another tumultuous week for Manchester United, and the Dutchman's in-tray is packed with problems to solve. The international break has only added to Ten Hag's dilemmas, with Jadon Sancho's revolt last weekend and the abuse allegations against Anthony in Brazil keeping the club in the headlines. United's season is a month old, but already in danger of veering horribly off course, with off-field problems and on-pitch concerns continuing to mount. There have been 2 wins and 2 defeats so far this season, and the fixture with Brighton this weekend looks treacherous. Ten Hag needs to get his team back on course this week while also settling down a squad that is being hit by headlines away from the pitch as well. These are the 5 main issues Ten Hag might need to look at ahead of Saturday's Old Trafford fixture. Sancho meeting, but they already met on Monday yesterday. Injury issues, Anthony explanation, 2 selection calls, Diego Dallo and Sergio Reguilon. And the last issues he might need to look is to solve a Brighton threat on this coming Saturday, again and again. Let's talk about the decision agreed between Sancho and Ten Hag. Jadon Sancho set to leave Man United as Erik Ten Hag shows ruthless edge again in talks. Is Jadon Sancho's Manchester United career maybe over? Jadon Sancho's Man United career looks over after an unsuccessful start to crunch talks with manager Erik Ten Hag, according to reports. The 23-year-old winger could leave Old Trafford as early as January after his public spat with Ten Hag has left the pair's relationship in tatters. Sancho was excluded from United's 3-1 defeat at Arsenal earlier this month, which Ten Hag later claimed was due to poor training performances. But the Red Devils' No 25 fired back shortly after with an explosive social media statement, effectively calling his manager a liar and believing he had been made a scapegoat. Sancho and Ten Hag were set for showdown talks upon the return of United's non-international players today. According to the Daily Star, those discussions haven't produced a resolution due to a new lack of trust after the Dutchman was left dismayed by Sancho challenging his authority. Ten Hag's ruthless edge has resurfaced, with Anthony's leave of absence not expected to boost Sancho's hopes of game time amid fears he has become a bad influence around the squad. The report adds that the $73 million flop will look to end his United career in January via a loan move with the view of making his exit permanent next summer. But managerial changes, the emergence of Alejandro Garnacho, Anthony's $86 million arrival, and reported attitude problems have seen his potential wasted in M16. Sancho has registered just 12 goals and 6 assists in 82 United appearances and hadn't started any of the club's 3 Premier League fixtures before his Arsenal exclusion. 10. Hag's widely hailed treatment of Sancho, while he attempted to resolve physical and mental issues last season, will have intensified disappointment in the England international's behavior. Ten Hag allowed Sancho to take a few months away from the spotlight, appointing personal coaches to work with him in the Netherlands over the winter period. He returned in February, scoring against Leeds United, which looked to set him up to kick on after his early struggles. But Sancho has scored just 3 goals in the 28 games that followed, further garnering criticism for ineffective displays off the bench. Ten Hag's reported stance after talks with Sancho on Monday could be good news for Facundo Pellistri, who has waited for a chance to impress as a regular starter on the right. Again and again, United haven't played this properly over Sancho. Robbie Fowler has hit out at United's handling of the Jadon Sancho situation. I know it sounds a bit cynical, but I can't help thinking the entire Jadon Sancho situation stinks suspiciously like a classic case of wanting a player out, he wrote in his Mirror football column. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it seems to have blown up before the transfer window closed, and to me, Manchester United have not really played this properly, with what appears to be quite a bit of briefing against their player. Look, he may well have not been training properly, as Erik Ten Hag suggested, but I get the feeling there is more to it than that, and I genuinely don't think any party benefits from it all being played out in public. On the other side, Fernandes and Dalot in huge Portugal win. Bruno Fernandes played a major role in Portugal's 9-2 win over Luxembourg tonight. In the Euro 2024 qualifier, he scored once and notched 3 assists. Defender Diogo Dalot also played,